And today I just want to talk about why I think tech sales is one of the best careers that you can get in this modern day and age, and how it's actually transformed my life and all the benefits and blessings that it's given to me. So just to give you a brief background, I used to work in corporate finance. So I went to school at the University of Connecticut. I got a bachelor's degree in economics, and naturally, the easiest thing to do for people in economics degrees is to go work in financial services, something in finance, or work as an analyst. And so that's what I did for my first 4 years after school. And, I ended up going to work for Mass Mutual, ended up working at the Hartford afterwards. So these are like life insurance companies, property and casualty companies. And I ended up working in investment management at MFS. And then I eventually quit that job, ended up working for myself briefly as an online fitness coach, which I'm actually resuming, but in a different way, more so focused on overall health and performance, mainly focused on hybrid training. So if you want to tap in there, I have links in the description. But what I'm trying to get at is, I was an analyst when I first started off working in corporate America. And as an analyst, it's, a strategic job, quote unquote, right? You're doing a lot of data manipulation, creating PowerPoints, doing presentations, and really working in the corporate finance department with financial planning and analysis and evaluating strategic opportunities. And it's cool, right? It was a great start to my career, and you made decent money, like really good money for somebody who was 22 years old to 25 years old. Like, it was great, provided a good foundation for my career, understood business really well. But where I was really missing out on was, how do businesses actually bring in revenue, right? Which is kind of like sales and marketing, or even like within operations, right? I was more so looking at the business from a higher level, from a strategic point of view, which is great, learning the financial part of the business. But I never really understood, how do you actually transition someone who is a prospect into a customer? So I never really understood that. And so I never really got that kind of understanding and learning. And then the other side of it too is, as an analyst, you have a fixed income. You have your base salary, and you get a bonus off at the end of the year. And the amount of bonus that you get at the end of the year is really based off of what your boss, how much your boss really likes you, to be honest. You could be a trash analyst and still get a good bonus because people just like you, or you're like a finance bro or Chad or whatever. People just like you. So, performance was kind of this very ambiguous, vague type of thing. So you don't really know how good you're doing at your job, unless people tell you, but you don't really know, because they might just like you, or they might just be connected with the right people. So there was never that sense of performance and true competition like I used to have when I was an athlete, right? So I did D1 sports at UConn. I ran track, big soccer player and track athlete my whole entire life. And so moving into corporate finance, I didn't really get that kind of itch. And so I always felt like something was kind of missing working within finance. But then when I finally switched to tech sales right after 4 years, and ended up working for myself, this is a role where you really have to kind of hunt or kill what you eat, as they call it, right? And so in tech sales, you get a base salary, and oftentimes a really good base salary, a lot higher than some people in regular analyst jobs, for example, or in regular corporate type of jobs. But then you also get a commission as well for the revenue that you bring in, right? So for SDRs, it's you get paid for the amount of qualified opportunities you bring to the table, right? Amount of meetings set. And then as an account executive, you get paid off of how many deals that you close, right? And a lot of the time, this can be so if you hit your quota, it'd be double what your salary would be. So let's say your base salary is $100K. If you hit your quota, you get another additional $100K. Whereas let's say you worked in finance as an analyst or a senior analyst, your base salary would be would just be that $100K, and then maybe a 10 to 20% bonus on top of, based off of your base salary. And so with the tech sales, I felt like I had a true control of my destiny, right? And so, there's still office politics, don't get me wrong, because it's still corporate, but it's a little bit less because your performance is truly based off of, right, how much revenue are you bringing in, how many, sales qualified opportunities are you bringing in, and you're evaluated based off of that. And so I felt like within tech sales, there was a really strong meritocracy that I didn't really get within corporate finance. And then the other thing that I really liked is within tech sales, and I think it's mainly just the overall industry of tech itself compared to finance. It's a lot less curmudgeonly. There's a lot more really smart and driven and creative people, and the culture is just a little bit more lax and less uptight and institutional compared to finance, right? And I felt like I could kind of just relax, be more of myself, and focus more on really trying to do good work than trying to keep up appearances and fit in with this kind of finance culture, which I really didn't like. Like, I really liked the discipline of finance and economics and, being an analyst. I thought that was great. But when it comes to like the culture of like corporate finance and that entire like financial services culture, I just didn't really like it. It kind of ruined the whole entire spirit of, the training of being an economist and financial analyst. It kind of ruined that for me. But I think within tech, it's a bit more pure, right? These are really passionate people, and less office politics and kind of what I would call the whack finance culture would get in the way of actually trying to, build something great, which I see in tech. A lot of people really go there to build something great, and they're really passionate about it. So culture is a huge thing. The people that you work with, really great people. There's some people that I really like working with in finance, but I feel like in tech, I was able to connect and find more people that were kind of like me and I could really get along with, which is great. And then the last thing within tech sales, which is one of my personal favorites, is there's more opportunities within tech and also within tech sales to work remotely. And working remotely and being location independent has been one of the most beneficial and life-changing things within my life. So when I was working in finance, I used to live in New England, right? I lived in Connecticut. I ended up moving to Boston. But once I started working into tech sales, I was able to travel the world, working in different locations throughout Latin America, gone to Europe. I ended up moving down to Florida, and really have gotten to simultaneously make money and build my career while also exploring the world and getting a lot of time back to myself that I'm not commuting to. And so being able to work remotely, live where I want to live, be around the people that I want to live, and not having to commute every single day is one of the best life-changing things that happened to me in my life. And I'm unbelievably grateful for it. And it's honestly a blessing. And I just thank God every single day that this is like somehow my life. Like I can make money remotely. And yeah, it's truly a blessing. So, now that I look back at it, all of these different things, right? Everything from obviously the pay, the level of performance and, meritocracy within tech sales, the overall culture, the people, and then also just like the freedom I get from, remote work. All of those things together have really transformed my career and given me a lot of optimism for the future and a lot of gratitude for the career that I have right now. And so, if all of those things kind of resonate with you, like I would implore you to consider looking into tech sales, because all those benefits are great. And that's not to say that it's his perfect career. There's a lot of downsides to tech as well, right? So tech can kind of be somewhat of a risky career, right? You've been seeing a lot of the layoffs as well, especially if you're going to the tech startup world, right? Sometimes you can join a tech company and, tech startup, and, the company may go under. It may be mismanaged poorly because it's a startup and people are just trying to figure things out. The company might not have product market fit. It might not have great financials. So you will be taking risks there as well. And then the other thing too is within tech sales, you will be given a quota. And if you are not performing, your job may be in question and you may have to bear some of the stress of not performing well. And within sales, it's definitely a demanding job, and it's not just something you can kind of just show up at work and just kind of chill. You do have to put a lot of effort in, but if you do put that effort in and you perform well and you hit your targets, you will be rewarded, like no other job would, financially, and then also career-wise. If you perform in sales, companies will always be looking for rock star salespeople. So for the people that are willing to put in the effort, put in the work, hold themselves accountable, and this is just the career for you. So let me know if this video was valuable to you. Let me know if I should talk more about tech sales. It's not really something that I've really talked about. I've kind of been, working away within the past 4 years that I've been working in tech sales, and I can definitely share more of my experiences and maybe even give more information on how to break into tech sales if that's something that you guys want to if that's something you guys want to hear about. So let me know. I'll talk to you guys later, and peace out.